Hello, this is Pastor Nick Hood. Thanks so much for joining us in worship. This is Mother's Day 2024, a day to celebrate the mothers, a day to remember the mothers, a day to thank God for the mothers. And let me tell you what I'm preaching about. From 1 Kings chapter 17, there's a rich story about a prophet named Elijah who he goes to visit a widow. God directs him to visit a widow at a place called Zarephath. He goes there. The woman takes him in. She feeds him. She's hungry. She's about to starve to death. She has a child, and she takes him into her home, even though she thinks she's about to die because she doesn't have enough food to eat. As it turns out, Elijah tells her her cruse of oil and the meal, the flour or whatever she has to work with, will not run out during the drought. And he lives in her upper room. And then after a while, her son dies, and the widow is just distraught. She says, "Man of God, I brought you into my house only to have my son die." And Elijah, prays over the son, and he's revived. But the point that I'm going to be talking about is, because it's Mother's Day, I'm focusing on the love that this mother had for her son. And those of us who are fortunate enough to, have lived a while, we realize that when nobody else would stand up for us, in many cases, the mother is there, just like that widow at Zarephath. So I hope you'll come to church Sunday if you are in church, or if you're watching the church service on YouTube or the church website, Facebook. I want you to, even now, start thinking about your mother. A little later in the church service, I'm going to ask people for remembrances of their mother. And I want you to think about your mother. Think about what you learned from your mother. Think about times your mother stood up for you. I think about my mother, and some of the times she stood up for me when she really didn't have to. I think about my mother and some of the things she did with me that really made a difference in my growth and development. And I tell you one of them. I'm probably not going to say it in the sermon since I'm saying it now, but my mother used to watch me do homework. She'd put me in the dining room, my younger brother Emery, on the back porch that was enclosed, and my mother while she was working on her dissertation at Wayne State University to get a PhD. And my mother would catch me daydreaming, and sometimes she'd shout at me, "Focus, black man, focus. A lack of focus is the black man's problem." And I would just fall out laughing. I said, how does my mother know I'm over here daydreaming in the dining room? But somehow, I got through high school. That was during high school. And, she never had to say that to my brother Steve or my brother Emery, but she was on me like white on rice. And but somehow I made it. So I want you to think about your mother. I want you to think about some of your more memorable experiences, and we'll start worship in just a little while. God bless, God keep you, and thanks so much for tuning in and worshiping with us today. And above all things, remember, I am praying for you. God bless.